Welcome to the idea of where we explore the noise, the nuance, and everything in between. I am Mike,
And I'm not crying this week. So,
and I'm not gonna cry. I'm
yeah.
not gonna cry. And this is the space where culture, creativity, and conversation collide with tears.
Yes,
What's
sir.
going on, Bassey?
Nothing. Just making it through the days, watching a lot of World Cup. Uh, that's literally all I've been doing. Reading I started reading this book that I read when I was younger. I read it when I was in the seventh or eighth grade.
Hmm.
And I'm rereading it now. It's called Michael Jackson: The Music and the Madness.
Oh, I feel like I remember that book.
It's like from back in the day, back like
Yeah.
1991 is when
Hmm.
it was published, and I'm rereading it in the wake of, like, the Michael movie, but then also I'm on Threads, and there's these, like, they've gotta be 20-year-old, like, Michael Jackson fans that just showed up, and they're
Hmm.
insane people. Like, they have created this mythical creature and completely dehumanizing him in a
Yeah.
way that I just think is ridiculous. So I remembered this book, and the guy who wrote it also wrote Call Me Miss Ross, which is I've had beef with Diana Ross since I was in the 5th grade because of this book. And, but I remember the book being really kinda, like, detailed in a way that I wanted to revisit, and it is I'm only I just finished part 2, but
Hmm.
it is such a and it's creative nonfiction, and this is what I was arguing with people. I was like, "It's creative nonfiction." Like, he can't just, like, write a bunch of, like, an encyclopedia entry. It has to be interesting. But, like, anything that makes Michael Jackson a human person with flaws or with just, like he's weird. Like, that's okay to say that he
Yeah.
was an
Yeah.
odd person, but they have like, they do this thing where apparently his kids look exactly like him, but Jafar doesn't because Jafar is Jermaine's son and Michael hated Jermaine. No, he didn't. Like, what are you talking about? But then like
Right.
they have all these pictures, black and white pictures of his kids with black and white post-surgery pictures of Michael talking about they look just like him. No, they don't. Like, what are you talking about? But anyway, so I'm
His
reading
white
this
kids? His white children?
his
Oh,
white
I was
kids.
like,
He's like,
are there
no,
set of
they
kids I
look
don't know about?
Prince looks just like his great granddaddy on his mother's no, he doesn't. Like,
Like,
what are we
cut it
doing?
out.
And if it like,
That's
and
not
his
his blood child.
granddaddy
Like,
on his mama's side is white. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what are we doing here? But yeah, it's just a
uh,
lot of interesting things about, like, how he grew up. I am 100% convinced that that man had, he was on the autism spectrum. He was 100%
Michael Jackson?
neurodivergent. 100%.
Oh, of course.
100%.
Of
Yeah,
course.
100%, which is another argument. It's like, "No, he's just very sensitive and he was an angel baby." No, he's a human being
No, yeah. 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 I
or
mean, I
was a
think,
human
I
being.
think Michael Jackson, we forget that a lot of the people, if you go back to high school, I've been on this kick recently that like everything we needed to learn about society, about how the world works, about how people work was on full display in high school,
Mhm, mhm.
right? Like high school was, I think, did we talk about this before on here? I feel like high school is such a microcosm of society. And they always
Yeah.
say, oh, the 4 best years of your life are in college. I think the 4 most formidable, you know, years where you're learning about life and people and growth and,
And yourself.
change in yourself happen in high school. And just think of, you know, all of the stereotypical groups in high school. Like that is who those people are. The
Mhm,
jocks, people that are athletes and athletic, like they have a type, like there's a trajectory of who they are, how they operate in the world. And we saw it on full display in high school.
mhm,
If you think about actors and artists and musicians, they're all a little weird. And we
mhm.
saw it in high school. They wear different clothes. They sing down the hallway. Like they
Theater
are
kids.
always, yeah, theater kids, music kids, band geeks. Like all of our musicians. The folks that really make music are all weird. All of them.
Yeah. But then
You know what I'm
if you
saying?
add to that, like, all of that before you were fully formed
Right.
and
Like
being, like, at
at
the
the
core,
core of who
yeah.
they were, right?
Yeah, and also, like, this is another thing that I just from it, like, if Joe Jackson was still in Mike's life, he'd be alive right now.
Yeah.
He'd
Yeah,
be
for
alive right
sure.
now.
Yeah.
Like, when you look at it, like, I was reading it, and the book starts with Joe and Catherine, like, their lives, and, like, Joe was, like, one generation removed from slavery. His father
Right.
was like a
Literally.
teacher and, like, just all these different things. I was like, "Oh, Joe Jackson makes sense." Like,
Right.
you had no choice but to be this dude. Like, you had absolutely no choice, and
Right.
the way that he was and the reason that he was is why they're successful in that he's like, "Nobody's bigger than the program. This is a
Right.
family affair. Like, we are family. Barry Gordy, nobody is bigger than the program." And
Right.
there was a lot of things in the book. Did you ever watch American Dream? The Jackson's
Yeah, of
American
course. Yeah.
Dream? Fucking love
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
It is stuff in the book is word for word, verbatim dialogue that's in that movie. So either they use this book
Hmm.
to write the movie or it's fucking true
Or it's real. It's just
or
how
it's
they
real.
communicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a really interesting book. It's interesting to understand what it is that Michael was going through. And because another thing is that they fail to notice is that Marlon was only 17 months older than Michael. So they have the exact same experience. And of course, Michael was the star, so he had more pressure, but they
Right.
had the same existence or the same experiences. But Marlon and the rest of them found a way to like figure it out in adulthood where Michael didn't figure it out in adulthood because he's
He
autistic.
was he was who he was. Right.
He
He
is
was
who he
who
wa
he
like,
was. Right. Right.
yeah, like,
Right.
so I don't know, I just I'm always very interested in, like, the human parts of celebrity, the human
Yeah.
parts. Have you saw the thing with Beyonce and Jay, him combing out his
Yeah.
locks?
I
I
love
love
that.
the human part. It's
That
so
was
human and
so
so real, and people
refreshing.
don't
Yeah.
want that from people, and it's
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought
Um,
that Beyonce J video was just so dope. And I just people are just hardwired to hate certain
mhm,
people,
yeah,
based on whatever reality they've created. But like, I don't know how anyone could watch that. Whether you love Jay-Z or you love Beyonce or not, like the reason why he started his locks was
yeah,
because of his daughter. Like
yeah,
stop the tape right there. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, and what that means. And people that have like children and especially black girls, like understand like all of the issues that surround their hair. And when they're in community with other girls that have this kind of hair, they're looking at that, you know what I'm saying? Like, so
yeah,
him making a choice to grow his hair out to show his daughter that they
yeah,
have similar hair. Like,
yeah,
how
and
could you be like, nah, like they just want to sell hair products? Like,
but the thing is, these are the same people who had something to say about Blue Ivy's hair. So,
exactly, exactly.
how do you not see how that is a perfectly plausible,
Right.
realistic reason for this? And then it's I don't know, it's there's so many people that you could hate.
Yeah.
This is a waste of time. Even
Yeah. Like, come on.
The J Target thing, it's like my unpopular opinion is that nobody really stopped going to Target. They're just not going to Target online. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
they're just on
Right.
social media
Right.
like, "How are you still going to Target? You did not go to Target for 2 years. I am so sorry.
Right.
I'm
Right.
so sorry.
Right.
You didn't."
I yeah, the target thing is it's just selective outrage.
Mhm.
And everything right now is selective outrage and how our, who Deontay Kyle's been talking a lot about um like black people refining their energy, right?
Mhm.
And deciding on what we're going to focus on, what we're going to be mad about, what we're going to, and how, everybody talks about the distraction piece, right?
Mhm.
Like all of these news stories, quote unquote news stories that come out about Black people, are successfully distracting Black people from the main idea.
You saw the
You know, the
Westmore
main
stuff from last week?
no, God, what are you talking about Westmore?
Nigga, like,
I missed that.
it's been so strange watching because this is the exact same shit that happened in 2000 and what, 2010, 2000, whenever Toupe Fiasco
Obama.
showed up, like,
Oh, right,
post
right, 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 right.
with Hillary
Mhm,
Clinton, like, just all this stuff that, like, in the grand scheme of things, based on what it is that we're actually facing, should not matter. It's very butthurt emails, but Westmore in 2013 was invited to speak somewhere, um, because he had a book out. Like, I had beef with him for, like, 10 years because of this book, but his first book, The Other Westmore,
mhm,
and
mhm. I just started reading that.
apparently Peter Thiel or whatever, it was hosted by some people that suck now, and they were like,
Mhm,
"Oh, why was he there and why did he do that?" And it's all this, like, past, um, fantasy football type shit where it's like, "What did you know in 2013? What did you know
right.
in 2013 that you're still doing now as far as, like, with more information?" And he came out and he was like, "I didn't know it was my first book. I had a book event, da 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 da." But people, like Black people, which I'm always gonna talk about, are letting these white fucking leftists decide what it is that we are and are not supposed to be supportive of. And so this whole thing spun out of control. And then you've got, I'm sorry, Black leftists carrying water for these white people and turning this thing into this non-issue into an issue because again, 2013, over 10 years ago, he wasn't
Mhm.
a he was just becoming a public figure, I should say. He definitely wasn't in politics. So what are you saying? And then there's this one person, I had to block her, who was like, "Okay, well, I understand, but as a author, you should always know exactly who's running your book events." W Okay,
What?
what does that have to
What?
do with what we're talking about right now? You're
Mhm.
just wrong, and instead of saying, "I'm wrong," you're trying to find a way to make yourself right. And I
Yeah.
hate that shit. But that's what's been happening as far as, like, the things that people are outraged about, like, "Oh, I don't like this whole sacred Beyoncé thing and Jay thing is propaganda because I haven't forgot this thing that happened 27 years ago." Like, come on.
Yeah,
You
I
just wanna
mean,
hate these people, and they're so
and even
unhateable.
right, and even, I don't think we even talked about this, but, like, the Kevin Hart backlash from the roast and,
Mhm,
there's just always a story about somebody Black that causes, you know, a rift in the public discourse of Black people
mhm,
that, it really does seem to, it seems to water down our voice,
mhm. It's
right? Like,
COINTELPRO.
it really is. Like, it is so
The
genuinely
diaspora wars, all of that.
seeing
COINTELPRO.
all of it.
Mhm,
And I just don't understand how people can't see it, right? Like, I wrote a piece on my website a few maybe like a year or two ago now, talking about like here are the new rules of how Black people should operate online. You know what I'm saying? And the
oh, I remember
the
that. I
main
remember that.
the main idea of
Mhm,
it was like don't comment, don't share, don't repost, don't retweet. I just get so angry when, folks like I think of Don Lemon a lot and DL Hughley and like these uh figureheads that are, you know, informing Black people about what's happening in either politics or in different spaces. But while they're doing it, they're like putting more eyes on the bullshit. Like the first
mhm.
time I saw you heard about we talked about it, but we didn't really put any light on it. But the UFC fighter that said what he said about Michelle Obama. Did you hear about that?
Yes, Michelle Obama's the
Right?
man.
The
Yeah.
first time and the only time I saw the actual video clip was when other Black people reposted it. Like we don't need to see that. If you want to talk about it as a news, a news entity, talk about it. But you don't have to show the video. You don't have to, on your thing, like, what do you feel about this? You know how we feel about it. We fucking hate it. Like,
Yeah.
we don't want to see it. So, like, all the Trump shit that people repost, all the negative news and narratives about black men and women and how we hate this, like, just stop doing all that. Like,
Yeah.
I promise you, your clicks and your media content is still going to do well. You don't
But it
have to
won't
do
though.
that.
It won't though. These are people who have their only frame of reference or their only frame of knowledge. Um, no, this is what my sister and I talk about that they're losers. These are people who don't have friends in real life. So the attention that they get online is from negatively interacting with stuff. Like there are
Yeah.
people who I don't believe that you have intimate, in-depth knowledge about everything.
About
So
anything. About anything.
everything that
Yeah.
happens in the world, you've got this high level opinion on.
Yeah.
Like
People
that doesn't
can't
make any
even,
sense. You're only
it
doing this
doesn't.
for
It
engagement at
doesn't.
this point.
Yeah, it doesn't. And people, it's clear when they don't, right? It's clear when people, not everybody's a sociology expert. Everybody's a counseling expert. Everybody knows everything about the history of politics and how the
And
presidency works. Like, no, no, yeah, y'all didn't pay attention. Where do we
yeah,
learn this? In high school. We learn that people aren't intelligent in
yeah.
high school. And we learned also like how
The people
people
can't
fake.
read.
I was
People
trying not to
can't
say it.
read. They can't read. I've been saying this for
We
for months,
we
for
know
years.
when people were asked to read in high school or had asked to read out loud, we knew how uncomfortable they got
Mhm, mhm.
and knew that they weren't like comprehending what they were reading.
Right.
And it's still you don't learn how to read after high school. You don't become a critical thinker after high school. You either have it or you
You
don't.
learn how to put it together. You learn like
Man, yeah,
because I took a one of the best class I ever took was like a rhetorical something. Now I can't remember, but it taught me about fallacies and ways to construct
yes,
your
yeah,
opinion and ways to
hmm
support your opinion and all these things that I had opinions before. You know what I mean? But now I know how to
hmm
structure them. Now I know how to, the best way to articulate my
right,
opinions.
right.
And I'm
And
watching
people
people, I
can't
was
do
like,
that.
"You don't know
Can't do it. You can't
nothing.
do it.
You can't
You
hold
can't
2
do
thoughts
it.
at once.
They can't do it.
You can't hear somebody say ABC without thinking, well, that must mean you hate XYZ. And what about 1, 2, 3? We're not talking about
Right.
that. We're talking about this. And there's so many, I don't remember what it is that I said. I said something and people were coming at me with all these like other things. And what about this? And not even that. Not even that. It's like, I have never done this thing. Okay, well then we're not talking about you. Like, what do you want me to do with this?
Right.
I'm not talking about you then.
Folks be so obtuse, like
Jesus,
folks
like
like
for real.
willfully obtuse, and I feel like those
And
are the
boldly
people
so.
boldly, loudly, and they don't even care about being wrong. They don't care about being not even wrong, inaccurate,
Yeah.
right? Because you could have an opinion and your opinion is just, your opinion is yours and, made up of all these different things. But you can't have an opinion on inaccuracies
Mhm.
and not acknowledge when it gets to the point like, oh, damn, my bad. I felt this way because I thought that this, and this happened.
Yeah.
And then coming back to the same platform and say like, hey, I put this
Oh,
information out and I didn't know. Like that shit don't
mm-mm.
happen.
They'll find a way for their falsehood to somehow be true. I knew when we were doomed when people start saying, "Okay, well, it could be true, and if
It
it
could
was true, these are
that
what?"
who does that the most? You know who is like where that style of thinking is the most rewarded is podcasts.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
That is where podcasts became the devil.
Mhm.
And I've been thinking about this a lot lately because of our last episode when we were kind of like questioning, like, what is it all about? And no, I've heard maybe a couple people put words to this thought, but like everyone's been talking about like how music has been, in this hole and how, music wasn't popping when Drake, since Drake has been out and the
Yeah.
beef and this and like all this history, right? People have not acknowledged that not the death, that's traumatic, that the decline in hip hop can be, I think, directly correlated to the rise in podcasts. Because
And the rise of podcasts, anti-intellectualism is being supported. But good. Yeah.
exactly, right?
Mm.
But because there's two, I think, quantifiable data points here is that one, I listen to podcasts a lot. And I was thinking about it when I was younger, when I was, working in DC and commuting to work every day and driving an hour to work every day, I listened to music. That was when I took my new albums and I would listen to it, give it the car test. When I'm on the metro, I had my headphones, give it the earphone test. And that is how I digested music. Break it down. I could hear it. You listen to it over and over again. You learn the words. And since podcasts have come out, where these long form podcasts, I don't listen to music as much,
Mhm.
right? I listen to it, but I'm not breaking it down and listening intrinsically like I used to. And I don't know, like, oh man, you heard that horn or that keyboard or that
Yeah.
kit that Timberland used in this song. He also used in this song,
Yeah.
right? No one's doing that anymore.
Yeah.
So everybody doesn't sit with music the way that they did, which is causing us this to be in this like cycle of I have to listen to it quick
Yeah.
because I have to give an opinion on it on my show, or I have to be able to respond to what Joe Budden said on his show, or what Maul and Rory said. And
That's also streamers and YouTube reactions, where people are listening
right,
to an album
right,
for the first time and they're stopping songs just to talk about it, and like, but they're not talking about it like in a way that's constructive. So I think that a lot of the reason my brother has this theory too, like a lot of the reason why the younger generation and their relationship to music and what's good music, like actual
mhm,
music, not just whatever, is based on the fact that they grew up with streamers and they grew up
yeah,
with music that's supposed to happen in the background that you're not really supposed to engage with. You're just supposed to just let it happen and feel it in a certain way.
right,
But
right,
we've had this conversation about audiobooks, and there was a recent conversation on Threads where somebody came out and said that she wishes that authors would use simpler words because it's easy to like just read through it. And people are like, understandably, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, the whole point of reading is so that you see a word you don't know, and then you look it up, and
understand
now
your
you know the word,
vocabulary,
or at least
right,
know the
right.
context exactly. But and people are like, oh, and someone was like, it's ableist not to do that.
Oh, here we
It's
go.
ableist to not consider people with reading difficulties and well. Number one, then that book isn't for you.
Right,
Simple as that.
that's okay. Right,
Find
right,
the book that has all the simple words that you want. But like, my audiobook thing, when you're listening to an audiobook and you hear a word you don't know, you just keep going because
yeah,
you'll figure it out in context, or it's not that important to you. But when you're reading and you come across a book you don't know, you'll look it up. Whether you have a Kindle or not, there's ways for you to look up that word, or know what word it is so that when you do hear it, you recognize it. But if people are only consuming anything through other people, and that means narration or streamers or podcasts, when your media or your art that you consume is done via third party,
mhm,
then second or third party, you're not getting what the thought is supposed to be, and you're not getting the ways that you're supposed to process it, because all of this is about processing and understanding what it is that we're seeing and using that to apply it to other things, and we're not seeing that anymore. I'll say, even for me with writing, I'm not writing to the level that I used to write because my relationship to reading is different.
mm.
So, and
That's
that's
fascinating.
just,
Yes.
yeah, it's just, that's just is what it is.
And I wonder if that evolution is just human, like the human, like w- how technology has always impacted the creative process,
Mhm.
right? You got to wonder when there was no TV or radio in the 1920s or 30s, right? And writers then, like the time that they had to write, the space in which they had to write, and it being impacted by radio and television, right? And I wonder then how that process changed when the internet came about, and
Well, we
now there's
can't.
AI, now there's stream. There's all these
But even
different.
going back
Mhm.
even more recently, that when we were kids, we had the luxury of boredom, and that impacted the way that we also experienced life, but
Yes,
also
yeah,
experienced,
yeah,
like, there was so much that when we were bored, we couldn't pick up a phone, we couldn't even really turn on the TV because there was not really much to watch.
mm,
So we
right,
had
right.
our thoughts, and we had the ability to formulate our thoughts because there was no outside noise and there was no distraction. There was nobody showing up to tell you what your opinion was before you'd fully formed your own opinion.
Mm-hmm,
Or
mm-hmm. And
um
yeah,
no,
mhm.
go ahead. Go ahead.
If there were people that were helping you form an opinion, 9 times out of 10, they had uh, the cultural capital and the knowledge and the
Yeah.
information
And it was
to
respected
guide
as that.
you
Mhm.
in an appropriate way, right? They weren't like purposely trying to deceive you. They weren't being, you know, willfully obtuse. They weren't like, well, if this happened, that, they were knowledgeable and they
Yeah.
had information
But people
that,
respected that knowledge. Now
right,
people
right.
people openly disagree with people who have actually done the research on the thing they're talking about. Not to say that they're infallible, but when it comes to actually doing the work to know things and to research, I'm going to listen to you for a little bit. I might
Yeah,
disagree because personally it doesn't work for me, but
right,
how I look arguing with somebody who went to med school. Like, you might be
right,
an idiot. Like,
right.
I'm not saying you're not an idiot. You might absolutely be an idiot, but there are certain parts of that argument that I need to stand down on, and people don't know
They
that,
don't
don't
do
have
that.
that.
They really don't. They really don't. But yeah, it's all fascinating stuff. But to do a quick turn, Bossy, I wanted to read some of our comments from last week's episode.
Okay.
Last week's episode was very emotionally charged, in a good way, I think. I think
Was it
I think our
was it in a
vulnerability
good way? Because I hated it.
helps our audience and, all that stuff. So, one, listeners, leave comments, all that stuff. React with what you're hearing from us. Rate the show. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. We're not going to change anything, but it's helpful for it's helpful for us. No, we might. But one of our favorite listeners, our consistent listeners from day one, our number
Is it
one day one,
Yetunde?
Yetunde. Yeah, she left us.
Hey.
I'm friends with her on Instagram now, so it's just cool to like see people in real life. But she said yesterday, she said, "What I love about your podcast is that it is literally two friends talking, no fluff, no pretense. As someone that's slightly older than both of you, I've been where you are, reaching that age, wondering if you've done everything you should or could do, when where you are right now is exactly where you should be. I don't know you, but I hope you give yourselves grace. I hope you keep showing up, but we'll accept your art however you want to give it to us." From
Thank
me
you,
today.
Yetunde.
That's so
Thank
dope.
you.
That's so dope. I really
Yeah.
appreciate that message.
Yeah.
And this is from
Yeah, I do
Charlene
appreciate
Banks.
that.
Charlene is another longtime listener. She's commented several times. She says, "Bossy and Mike, you're doing great work and it is changing you. You are building inner scaffolding by putting in the reps." These are in quotes. And I think Charlene's a counselor, a mental health professional, because she's commented before on some of I think there was an episode where we were talking about like coping mechanisms,
Mhm.
and she like really gave us some gems. But I have resisted creating content shorts, but now I'm leaning into it because the world needs to hear what I have to say. This is true for you too. Do whatever baby steps that are needed. Think of it as bodybuilding for your spirit. That's
Wow.
a fucking bar. You
Yeah.
will be able to
Wow.
hold such. Ooh, okay. So keep how she keeps the analogy going. Do whatever baby steps that are needed. Think of it as bodybuilding for your spirit. You will be able to hold success when it comes. Self compassion for now, because you deserve to rewrite your story any way you like. I need a
Wow.
gunshot for that. That makes me teary because that is
Wow.
so, that's dope.
What'd you say your name was?
Charlene Banks.
Okay,
That name
Rod
sound familiar?
forwarded me an email that I forgot. Yes, from Charlene Banks. She sent an email to Rod asking,
Mm,
oh, okay, okay. Wow, cloud authorized architect and trainer. She's a
mm.
consultant. We need to get her on the show.
We need, yeah,
We need to get
because
her on the
she's
show.
commented before. Like that comment one is
She
just
gave
like
me a okay, I really
such a
appreciate
powerful.
that because when things happen, like, I'll get I haven't looked at my email in a while, like, I'll see the alert, read the thing, and then go about and forget to go back to it, but I remembered her name because I meant to go
Mm,
back to that email that Rod forwarded me, so thank you so much for that, Charlene. Thank you.
yeah, yeah, for sure. And I can see here that Rod liked her comment. I think that's Rod. I wait, is that Rod?
The black guy who
Wait,
tips?
no, Rod Morrow. Is that his last name?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Rod Chestnut.
He just liked her comment. Such a powerful comment, and it's. I mean,
Yeah, it is. Thank you.
it's helpful that one, we know folks are listening. We know that, and we said this at the end of our episode last week. Like the challenges that we face as creators, as writers, as seekers, um, we do this because we hope people can relate to it on some level. And, to hear Charlene and Yetunde kind of validate that for us is really dope. So thank you
Yeah,
for that.
I really
Appreciate it.
appreciate it. I really do. I really do.
Can I tell you a story?
Sure.
So, um, this week, I was telling Bassey before we got on, this week I hosted a Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated scholarship gala in Woodbridge. Well, the chapter is based in Prince William County, the Xi Alpha Lambda chapter. One, so many things to take away from this. One, I sometimes forget, again, we've talked about like isolation, right? And I haven't been connected with my fraternity in North Carolina. I haven't joined an alumni chapter. But I've been thinking about it, but like being around these men, being around my brothers, it was just like so refreshing. It was just like, dad, one, I made a really good decision joining Alpha. Two, it's like a decision that like I've never questioned. You know what I mean? Like a decision you make when I was 17, 18 years old that still comes back to show like you're in the right place. You're around like-minded men. It was just such a dope event. They gave away $108,000 to 24 students,
Wow.
going to, different scholarships, going to different universities. They gave away scholarship money to students going to community colleges, going to HBCU med schools, and a few other different, um, different scholarships and colleges.
Wow.
Super, super dope. So I'm hosting
Wow.
the event, I'm doing my thing, blah, blah, blah. And I think on last week's episode, right? I talked about how at work, like, I made some missteps and like I was kind of doubting my confidence was being hit a little bit and been sitting with that. So at the event, whenever I host something like, I'm like how I am here. I'm just like vibing with the crowd. Like I don't do a pretentious emceeing job. Like I am who I am, right? Um, the event is very formal, but I'm Mike. So I'm bringing my energy to it. I came out to Jay-Z, New York. I'm in the crowd like, Nick, let's go. Like, whatever. So I'm having a good time. Everybody's laughing. It's a good time. At the end of the event, it transitioned from like the gala to like a party. They had a DJ, people were dancing. And this couple came up to me and they wanted to take a picture. Oh, cool, take a picture. And this lady, black woman, was like, I just wanted to tell you, just keep pushing, just keep pushing. You know, I've seen your website and like what you're doing. And, she said, and I was listening to her like, oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Blah, blah. And she said, it doesn't matter what mistakes you've made. Like that mistake you made, it doesn't matter. like Jesus still loves you. We still love it. I was like, whoa, whoa. Like it gave me chills in the moment. And I was listening and like appreciative. It's like, hold up, you're talking to my spirit right now. Hold on. And she was like, just you've been doubting yourself. You've been holding yourself back. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Jesus loves you. Like,
Wow.
we got your back. Like, and she was just like, she was legit prophesizing to me in person in the middle of a party.
Wow.
you know, there's like Knuck of You Buck is playing in the background. And, I, and I'm like, whoa. And she was like, I'm serious. She's like, I want you to know that we see you. And like, she was just like speaking so much life into me. I was
Wow.
like, holy shit. But it was just, there are these moments where like you have doubts and then something happens that either like confirms your doubts or like keep pushing, like keep
Yeah.
going on. So there were just like so many examples of that this week and a half that I don't know. We just gotta keep pushing. It's part of the process,
Yeah.
on some level.
Yeah.
So shout out. I
It's
didn't get her name. I should have got her name. Shout her out, but like shout out to her for sure.
yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's 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 a process, but I am grateful that things like that do exist, and that because I think that personally I'd be worse off if I couldn't even hear that.
Hmm.
And I hear it, I
Right.
understand that. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna feel the way I feel.
Yeah. Yeah. And you should. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But
And I think that's something that I learned from you on this show. In our conversations, is like it's okay to feel the way you feel, right? And it's a disservice to whoever you're around for them to come to you with the feeling and for you to be like, nah, you don't feel that way.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I
yeah,
feel like that's the human thing to want to do. Someone comes to you with something that has them down or that's negative or you perceive to be negative, and you're like, no, it's not like that. Like, no, it is like that. It
yeah,
is like that.
yeah,
And also, it's just like that right now, and maybe there's gonna be something else in the future. So good
yeah,
stuff, man. Now that you've been
yeah.
watching World Cup,
Have I? Have I? I'm more into
soccer
it
is the greatest
now.
sport of all time,
It's
yo.
really
Soccer is the
I'm
greatest
not
sport
gonna
of all
say it
time.
might be. I think it is. First of all, I can't believe that it was just 4 years ago that it happened. Like those 4 years just like ran by because I was just watching it for the first time. Not for the first time, but like in depth for the first time last
Yeah.
World Cup because he
Hmm.
was playing like in high school, which is different than when he was playing club. Like I'm
Hmm.
invested. I
Hmm.
understand it now. Um, but it has been incredible. And I always go in like I'm rooting for everybody black. Everybody black.
Everybody,
Everybody is black.
everybody.
Like the Panama and fucking Ghana were playing. I was like, I don't even know who's who. What's going on?
Like, I just need to know, how is there a black person on the Norwegian team? Like, there's black people on the Iraq team. Like, where are
Yeah.
these black people coming from?
Yeah, it's either
You
it's
know what
either
I'm
some African who got a scholarship
saying?
to some university in that country, they're there, or it's a white
It's
woman
so
who met an African somewhere.
exactly,
That's
or
that's
a
that's
German
the
who married a service member, and now half of the German team is black. Like, how is the
yeah.
German team black? Half, of course, like half of more. I feel like they did a thing. Like, most of the French starters
Oh,
are from
oh,
Africa.
France
All
is
of
an
the
African
U.S.
team,
The U.S. team is mostly black,
which is crazy. I've never seen that before. I've
which is
never seen
so
that before.
crazy.
And you know what they're doing too that I've noticed because I'm so into like I am a give me a story. Like I want to
I'm like,
know it.
oh
Tell me
man, I
everything. I
want to
want to
know
know the story.
everything.
But there's
Yes,
so
yes.
many like there's one guy, I think he plays for Iraq, I think, who they scouted on like LinkedIn because they realized that their father, like they had dual citizenship. And it's like, do you want to play for us?
Mm,
Sure. And then
okay.
the Balogun, who was
Hmm.
accidentally born in Brooklyn. He's playing for the
By
U.S.
mistake.
I
Born
love
in
that shit.
Brooklyn.
There's
Oh my God.
I
And
think
he's
it's
Nigerian or Kenyan?
He's Nigerian.
Balogun.
Balogun.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's Yoruba. He's Nigerian. He's Nigerian, British accent playing for the US. I love everything about it.
Blackest parents in the world. Like,
I
I
loved
just love
everything
when they
about it.
pan to their family, and the family's black too.
Yeah.
Homeboy, young kid, Yamin Lamal from
Oh,
Spain.
that's Lawley's
Fucking
favorite player. He's been talking about him. He went to McDonald's and got his, like, he was so happy that the first cup he got was, I love him. I
love.
love that kid. He
And
is
they
so
pan to
fun to
his
watch and he's
family.
having so much fun.
They pan to his family in the crowd, black.
Yeah.
Mom as black as me. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's so dope. But, or I will say, but I'll say, and right. And I think there's so many, there's so many like parallels to like what we've been talking about on here with our kids, right? Um, I don't know if you've heard. Can you hear the bias of
Fucking
the
Alexi
announcers
Lalas or whatever the fuck can kiss my
when they're
ass.
talking about
I
the
hate.
African teams? Do you
Yes.
hear it?
Yes, I
It
hear it.
is.
Yes,
It
I
is
hear it.
incessant.
Yes, I hear
And
it.
it's almost. It's
Alexi
almost.
Lalas, you can kiss my ass. Good.
It's almost assumed that the black
Oh, Alexa, I wasn't talking.
teams.
Alexa, relax. I wasn't talking about you. I said Alexi. I didn't say Alexa.
Alexis was like, "What?"
It really was like, wow, that's harsh. That's what it literally just said. That. I wasn't talking to you.
That's crazy.
Let me
That's
unplug
crazy.
it before it starts reminding me of some shit that I want to be reminded of.
But
But no,
it's like
yeah,
it's inherent in the way that they talk about the black teams. It is the seat in racism. And I started thinking about this, right? Because is that, and I'm not or trying to be an apologist, but is that racism?
yes.
I feel like on the surface level, like that's clear racism, right?
I forget what it's called. Implicit bias. It's
It's
implicit
implicit
bias
bias,
because
right?
this
Right.
and it's microaggressions. It is microaggressive because fucking Alexi Lalas
Mhm.
said, I think it was Senegal or Cote d'Ivoire playing, and he said
Mhm.
the African teams have gotten so much better because da
I
da da
heard
da.
that.
I was
I
like,
was listening at that exact moment. I was listening to that.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, I
First of
heard that.
all,
I heard.
you're right, but only because you're ignoring the racism and the colonization that weakened these countries and these teams in the first place.
But even deeper than that, is it that the African countries, the Caribbean countries have gotten better? Cabo Verde, like, are they tied the greatest team in Europe,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Is it that these teams have gotten so much better? Or what I tend to think is that there's so many black players on the other teams that the speed of the game is faster. The like the European style,
Mm-hmm.
the British style, the Spanish, like the Spaniard style of play isn't the only play anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And that was for a long time what the purists considered real soccer.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
considered you pass out the back. It's slow. It's methodical. It's more technical. And now that the speed of the game is so much faster and like, you know, players like Messi, as
Say it.
ridiculous of a player as he
I
is,
was just about to say that. He's not fun to watch for me.
he's not, I mean, in this World Cup, he's been, I don't know, Messi's always been like that. Like, I
Just
feel like
walking.
yeah, he'll walk, but as soon as he gets the ball, you know he's
Oh
about to go
yeah,
bananas.
it's
Like,
crazy. It's crazy. But he looks like he was taking a walk and he's like, "What's going on, soccer? Let me score real quick." Like, and that's great. Like I'm not
and he
taking
could
that
do
away.
that.
I'm not taking that
Yeah.
away from him, but he's not as, and plus he's not fun to watch for me because Argentina just leans on him. just get the ball to Messi. They're not all like they're not all like playing together. They're not a fun team to
Right.
watch. Like even with Holland, who is insane.
A monster. Like
He is insane.
yeah,
He's still fun to watch for me because he plays with his team.
yeah, yeah. And they were, I think all of the teams, something else I've learned from this World Cup is that, and it made me think about basketball. I always thought that basketball is the closest sport, like to soccer in, like the lines and just like different things that happen on the field, right? Or
Mhm,
on the court. But I couldn't help but think of LeBron, right?
mhm, mhm,
And any team that LeBron has been on, they might have been the worst team last year, but when LeBron gets on it, they can be the best team,
mhm,
right? And that doesn't happen in any other sport. It doesn't happen in football,
mhm,
right? You could be the best player in the world, but if you're on a trash team with no offensive line and no running back, no wide, like you're not going to be a good team. But with soccer, it appears that this year the stars are really the fucking stars and
mhm.
their whole team. I don't know if it's just that I understand the game a little bit better or I've seen how one dynamic player can change the entire field. But Messi, Holland was a great example. It's
Mbappe?
another example.
No, because Mbappe
Mbappe,
and Dembele
Mbappe's
are work
team is
together.
just
Yeah,
that team is
they're
just
different.
fucking ridiculous to
Yeah, they're
watch.
different. France is different. Yeah.
But going back to the comments about the African players, I think the speed of the games, so everything is so much more exciting.
Mhm,
You have to really, you can't be a striker like, I can't even, like Harry Kane
mhm.
from England,
England, yeah.
beast player, technically most ridiculous, but he's not fast.
Mhm.
And I don't know how far England is going to be able to go without having more traditional athletes in some of their scoring positions. But
Yeah.
this World Cup has just been
It's
it's
been
been awesome to watch. It's really been
have
awesome to
you
watch.
seen and I forgot his name just as quickly as that. I think it's Cote d'Ivoire who wrote that letter to his sister that died.
No, I didn't see.
Oh my
No, I didn't see that. I didn't see that
god.
story.
Oh my god. He's telling the story as like the typical sort of and you believed in me more than anybody and I'm doing this World Cup for you. But at the end she's like and then when you died I was like, "Oh my god." It's like I'm
I
now
think
I
I
got to
saw some of that. Yeah,
yeah,
I think I saw some
it's
of that.
but I just all these stories, all these people who have like not even human interest, but like have like a purpose that they're out here for real. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
they're out here
yeah,
for real. They're not it's the World Cup, but it means so much more. Like the purpose and I think that that's another thing that the African teams bring. Um because what it highlights too is like you've got all this talent. I know for Nigeria specifically, all of this talent in Nigeria playing for other teams because the infrastructure in Nigeria does not support its
right,
athletes. And
right, right.
sort of seeing what it looks like when the athletes are supported by these African countries, these Caribbean countries, it just does something. It's different. When I look over and I see
Yeah,
that the manager is black, I'm like, this is different. Y'all are doing something different
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah. It reminded me of so many things we've talked about on here for the past year. Of course, I couldn't help but think about our sons,
Mhm,
right? And the importance, like when it comes to soccer, and I think this is so unique from any other sport where there are, a lot of American players. When it comes to soccer, you have to have a coach, a system, a team to be in that respects your talent.
mhm,
If they don't
mhm,
respect your talent, you could be playing at a D8 school, let alone a D1 school. You could be playing at a JUCO. If the coach and the team doesn't see your talent as worthy, don't go there.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
because you
And it
never
was
get the
just such,
ball to show what
you
it is
never
that you
get
can
the
actually
ball.
do.
They
Yeah.
don't respect your ability. And I couldn't help but think about, you know, hearing all of these kids' stories, these young men's stories, right? They all have a similar trajectory.
Mhm,
They started somewhere, they shined. They went somewhere, someone hated them. They got cut. They didn't want to play anymore. Someone just happened to see them, invited them to be a part of this. Now they're in the World Cup. They all
Mhm.
have that story. And
Yeah.
so many of the Black players have that story where they went somewhere, they weren't getting any minutes, they were sitting the bench, they were thinking about their whole life, and then they went somewhere where someone saw them and then they
Mhm.
flourished.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't help but
But
think about like what our boys are going through and like the rise and fall of the sport and being the importance of fit
mhm.
is the difference between winning and losing, like as a
Especially
team and individually, right?
when you're letting the athletes play their game. You're not trying to make them fit into whatever it is that you've decided before you even got there. Like, that's when
Right.
Yamin is having so much fun. Like, a lot of them are just having fun. They're playing street ball. Like, they're playing like a pickup game. Not in
Yes.
that it's not as, like, structured or it's not as
The
proficient,
technical. Yeah.
but they're playing their game. They're having fun. They're juking people. You know what I mean? Like they're having fun out there, which
Yeah.
makes them fun to watch. Like I'd much rather like there's some game that I started watching. I was like, all right, this is boring because y'all are just out here playing soccer, which is okay. Like
Right.
you're in the World Cup,
Right.
you're playing
Right.
soccer, but it's like okay, like
Where's the
I can
love?
see this
Like,
any other
where's the
day of the week.
passion?
Where's the
Right.
passion? Why why
Yeah.
why why aren't you smiling when you're playing? Not smiling, but like you scored or your team scored and you're kind of just like, ugh. Like I want to see the celebrations. I want to
Yeah.
see,
Yeah.
I want Thierry and Henry to be like, ah, that's my celebration from like 1992. Like I love that shit.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
And speaking of Thierry, like he's become my favorite
Oh,
commentator
he's so good.
and Zlatan. I love Zlatan.
Yeah.
I think he's like a character, but he's super, super dope.
He's so
And
French.
seeing
Like he doesn't waste any of his
both
words. He
and
wastes
him
no words.
and then sitting next to Lexi is like, you're trash, bro. You are not in the
You are,
league.
and you're
You're
talking the
only here.
loudest. You're the only one who hasn't won shit,
So
hasn't
it's
even
so
played
American.
really, and you are the loudest out here talking about. What did he say? He said some shit that made me so mad. I turned it off. I had to
He
mute
was
it.
talking about, you remember he he's a MAGA, Lexi.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's MAGA. He's
Clearly,
MAGA.
yeah,
And you could just hear it and feel it in the way
yeah.
that but he was talking about the first France game. And remember the first half, it was a little rocky. And the comment that got a lot of attention was that Lexi said that, oh, the France team was being too arrogant.
Mm,
And Thierry and Zlatan were like
Poor French.
basically like some people. He wanted to say Americans,
Mhm.
but he was like some people mistake confidence for
I
arrogance or
saw that.
arrogance for confidence,
I
and he was
saw
like
that.
they're just confident. Like what's wrong with that? And he
Yeah.
was like people that say that mistake arrogance for confidence are like stupid or something. He said, and I was like that, but that those three are a perfect reflection of why soccer in the United States is what it is. Because you have these pundits and talking heads that don't understand the spirit of the
hmm
game,
hmm
right? And when you are around people that live, breathe, and eat soccer like our boys do, we see it from the other side, right? Like we see it from like, there's so much art and talent and passion that goes into the game that even talking about arrogance in soccer is just, I think in a lot of sports, it's just not
They do it to
a
LeBron.
thing.
You're
Yeah.
you're you
It's
you you
just,
you you want they want it too much. What are you talking
what
about?
is
What do you
that?
mean they
What?
want it too much?
Right, 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 right.
But
Man,
the
it's
thing, but did
been
you know that
good.
Alexi how do you pronounce it? Lala's? What was it? Lala? What is it?
Lawless. I think lawless.
Lawless?
Alexi
Lala
Lawless. Hmm.
yeah, Lawless. He was famously against birthright citizenship. He didn't think that players who were just born somewhere should play for those teams. And now the entire American team is and
Right.
he's not saying anything about birthright citizenship there.
Exactly. Exactly. But the
Have
US
you seen
team's looking good. US
I was about
team
to
is
say,
looking good.
did you see on TikTok Diamond's little brother? Have you seen that?
Mm-mm. Who's that?
So the big thing when the World Cup started is like a bunch of Americans were like, I thought we were hosting. I didn't know we had a team. Like, what are we doing? Like, what's the like they're trying to get into it. And there was
Mhm.
one that went viral, and this girl in the comment section was like, yeah, my little brother is playing for the US. And so they start calling him, they're like, we're rooting for Diamond's little brother. We're Diamond's little brother. So whenever somebody comments, they're like, yeah, I'm just here for Diamond's little brother. Do you know who Diamond's little brother is? Alan Freeman. Is it Alex Freeman? Alex or Alan
Uh,
Freeman? He scored he
Freeman.
scored he
Yeah.
scored the second goal,
The defender. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
defender. He
yeah.
scored the second goal in the
Hmm.
last USA game. That's the person they're calling Diamond's little brother. I thought he was just somebody on the bench. I was like, he's like a star on the team.
He's
Like,
a
get
starter.
it
Right,
together,
right.
USA. Americans,
And
get it
he's so
together.
young, but just like all of
They're
them,
all
I
young.
know
They're like
for a
18,
fact that
19.
18, I think the oldest, I think Pulisic is one of the oldest. He's just like
Yeah.
27.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I really want them to go as far as they possibly can. Because I really do think that soccer in the United States goes as this team goes,
Yeah.
right? Like if
Yeah.
they're going to make it to the next round, they already did. But if they're able to get to the semis, maybe,
Yeah.
um, I think it would just do such a great, it's a big deal for U.S. soccer. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to it.
This is a really good World Cup. And I say that as somebody who's watched two. Um, I'm I'm very into it. The only team I'm rooting for everybody except for Morocco. Like I'll be happy watching anybody but Morocco get far.
Why
But
not
I
Morocco?
did you see what they did at the Africa AFCON?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
And did you
That's
know that
right.
they
That's
they
right. That's
they
right.
they they legally got it reversed, so they won. They
Yeah,
took away
I did hear that. Hmm.
Senegal's goal and then gave them 3. Like, what are you doing? And they were
Yeah,
cheating the whole
yeah.
like they can they
But
can
did
all
you see
go.
also that this is kind of reflective of what we were talking about too, but like I think it was the Senegalese team that um got to the United States. I think their chef couldn't travel with them.
Yes.
The players aren't getting paid. The coach hasn't been
Yes.
paid yet. So it's like
Yeah.
all this controversy that the players have had to go out and get food through Uber Eats and all that crazy shit. Like
Yeah.
their facilities aren't up to par. Um, but you talk about why some of the black players choose to play in these European countries or choose to play with the US. It's because of stuff like that, where they
Yeah.
might not be getting the support they need from their home team. But man,
But
it has been
that also
such an
goes back to
exciting,
the
yeah,
reason why they're not able to get this colonization. Y'all came and looted and pilled. Like, that's why. That's
yeah,
why.
that that's true too. That's true
But
too.
there's another team, another black, maybe it was Senegal, who they wouldn't let them stay in the city. They had to like fly out
Oh,
and then fly
it
back
was
in.
it was Iran.
Was it
It was
Iran?
Iran. It was one of the either Iran or Iraq, but they were
Huh.
playing in California,
Hmm.
and then like an hour after the game, they had to go to Canada
Just
or Mexico
yeah.
because they couldn't stay in the country. Yeah, I hate hearing stories like that. I
Me
hope
too.
it's like this. Some aspects of the United States, especially under Trump, don't deserve the World Cup.
Mm-mm.
Like we don't deserve it. Like it would be such a better and more, I don't know, a friendlier experience if there was a different president.
Yeah. If it was Obama,
It's
imagine
just
if it was Obama
ah.
during the World Cup.
Speaking of Obama, did you see the dedication of the Obama Library
Yeah, I saw that.
in Chicago?
I saw that.
We didn't deserve him. We didn't deserve the
We didn't.
Obamas. Like,
We didn't. We didn't. They are real people, real black people. The amount of love they receive, and well, this is another thing I was arguing with people about online, where it's just like it's like Beyonce and Jay. You just hate these people.
right,
You hate
right,
these people for reasons you've made up. And I'm not saying, and I'm saying that as like, why is it important that representation matters when it comes to like an all white TV show, but all of a sudden representation doesn't matter anymore when it's the Obamas. Like,
Right.
what are you saying? Like remove from it, and you have to when it comes to Black people or any like quote unquote marginalized group in these things, you have to remove from it what what system they're walking into.
That's
And
the part. Yep.
the
Hmm.
thing that with him is that they're mad at him for not doing what Trump did without understanding that a Black man in that situation in 2007, 2008
Right.
would not be able to do that. Like, what do
And
you
would not have
mean?
been elected for a second
At
term. We
all,
know
at
that.
all.
Life would have been in jeopardy every single turn.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah,
And
I
and
saw
and
somebody had a really good video this week about, it was on a podcast or a clip I saw online about, his views on Obama. It's a popular native Nation of Islam pundit, like a talking head from Nation of Islam. If you said his name, I would recognize it. But
Mhm.
he, of course, is super pro Black, everything. And he came out this week basically giving Obama some bail on, you know, was he the best Black president, the president for Black people the way he should have been. And he basically gave full context, like what you just said. Like,
Yeah,
could he have done more for Black people? Maybe, but he wouldn't have lived to tell the story about it. Like, he
yeah,
wouldn't be able to, he was still in the office of the presidency, right?
yeah,
It wasn't like Barack Obama and the presidency. Like, he is within the structure and the system of the office of the president.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's just but seeing that dedication, and this was the first time that, I've been, I won't say hard on Michelle Obama, but cr- I've heard when she's talked about, what am I trying to say here? There was some narrative around the Obamas that like Michelle was I don't know, like the Black
This-
one, for lack of a better word.
Oh,
Like
oh, yeah,
Michelle was like the, the one that Black people should be focused on. And,
right.
she was the one that was like expounding upon these like Black issues within the presidency. And there have been some commentary between Michelle about Barack that was kind of dismissive, but in
Mhm,
a ha funny kind of way. Like, oh, you know how Barack is, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
as a Black man, I like, I don't really like that, but I'm gonna let y'all rock with it because it's Michelle.
Mhm.
This was one of the first times that I can remember where Michelle gave such
Oh
beautiful
my God,
words
that
about
speech,
Barack
that
in
speech.
there was no like tongue in cheek. It was no like joking. It was like, this is what Barack meant to our family.
Mhm.
And that basically, like, we allowed Barack to be what he is to our family, to the world, or
World,
to the
yeah,
United States.
yeah,
And it was just, I was like, it was just such a beautiful expression. Um, that he was crying. Like, he
yeah.
was in the
She kept
audience
saying like,
boo
"Look at
hooing.
me, look at me."
Right.
Yeah,
Like that right there to me is like, it was just such a beautiful portrayal of a Black man receiving his flowers.
mm,
We don't get that. Like, we don't really get it in such a genuine way coming from Michelle on that stage. I was like, that was perfect. It was such
yeah,
a perfect speech.
yeah. It was beautiful to watch. I didn't watch all of it. I'll say that, but the clips that I saw, the celebration, the things that I heard about. I mean, of course, people were like, oh, he displaced a bunch of flowers in the South Side. Where else was he supposed to put it? Because he would have put it anywhere else. People have been mad.
Right.
But okay.
Right.
And
Right.
also, he's not the every president, every former president gets a library. Like people are acting like he decided that he was gonna the only one. He's gonna throw himself a party like that. It's anyway. Um,
Right.
but the things that he's doing for the community within the center is unprecedented.
Unprecedented.
He took the community
Unprecedented.
into consideration when he built this thing. It wasn't just a monument to himself. It's
Right.
actually doing work. And
Right.
I just feel like people refuse to give him any credit or give them any credit, or I don't know. I'm still proud. I know that I cried. I'm very happy for the fact that they exist. I don't think we deserve them. This country did not
Right.
deserve them. I would have loved for him to be president now. You know what I mean? Like with all that's like if Biden would have been president first and then you know what I mean? Like if that would have happened, then
Mhm,
I
mhm.
think that especially and you hear it in his voice, what he's witnessed the last couple of years would change the way that he governs. Absolutely.
For sure.
You know, and
For
I
sure.
would love for that to I would love for Trump and his fuck ass Congress to say that presidents can run for a third term. Watch
Mm,
me work. Like
yeah.
really?
Yeah. Listen.
Word?
Yeah.
And he's still young? All right, Barack, let's go. We're doing this for a third time.
And I feel like whatever happens next politically in this country, I don't even know. I don't even. I don't.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
It's a
It's a
wrap.
wrap. Everything is upside down right now, and we've talked
Mhm.
about that ad nauseum over the past year and a half. But I don't see a way out of it. Like every day I watch the news, I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
How is this news? How is he able to operate like this? That's what I always go back to. Like, how is he able to do this? And is my anger displaced when I'm like, who, where's the Democrat response to the fuck shit he's doing?
But they
Like,
what's the response though? Like what could they do? What could they say?
I don't know, something. They
There's
need to be
nothing
as
they can
angry
do.
as I am. They need to come
But
on,
I think that I think that
they need to come scream something.
our anger is predicated on the fact that we don't have any power. And I
Yeah.
know that's counterintuitive because they do have power, but their power is contingent on making sure that things stay a certain way. Like they've got their
Mm,
attack dogs where, okay, you're allowed to go crazy and say all these things, but we have to work this out like for real. Because if we get
yeah.
angry, they win. And I mean that
Then
not
the
in
anger
a
becomes the story.
right, right. And not only do they win, but that's what a lot of this is doing. They're trying to provoke. They're trying to provoke, and we're allowed to be provoked and distracted. But I would like the people who are actually doing the work. Don't perform anger for me. Like that does nothing for us if you're getting on TV or on CNN every day, like having these sassy comebacks. That does nothing for us.
Sassy come.
That does nothing for us. I would rather you
Are you
not
sure
perform
though, Bossy?
anger.
I don't. I think now everything in politics is performative.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Everything.
For sure, for sure, for
The
sure.
shit that they're doing on the right is performative. All of it is performative. I don't mind
I
coming
mean,
on and being sassy, angry, and just to show, just show us, be performative,
but I
perform and
think
let
that
us know that
they've
you're,
got people who are, not designed, but, like, designated those roles, and they exist. I think the Democrats' hands are tied, and I think they'll be
Mhm.
continue to be tied because the people who hate Democrats refuse to create their own thing. They'd rather use Democratic resources and criticize them and not vote for them than go and go make your thing. It's been like that for the last
Mhm.
40 years. And every presidential election cycle, here come Jill Stein just for those couple
Some
of months.
rando,
Just some
right?
couple of months, and then she
Never
leaves for
heard
the
of
next
them,
4 years.
right?
And it's just like,
Who was
what do
that
you
guy in the 80s and 90s that would always come in and ruin
Ross
it?
Perot?
Was it Nate? No, was it?
Oh, the
No,
one that fucked
Nader?
up the fuck Ralph Nader. He fucked up the
Ralph
2000
Nader.
yeah,
Yeah,
Al
like,
Gore,
and then where do
Ralph
they
Nader.
go during the rest of the year?
They don't run for
They only show up
any
during
other
elections.
office. They don't have any people that they're endorsing in these smaller government how they it's yeah, we're fucked though, so
Right,
we
right.
are
Well, today,
fucked.
Bossy, there is I'm looking at my world. I put the World Cup schedule on my phone because I'm pressed. But today it's
I ask
England and
every day.
Ghana.
Yeah, that's
England
England
and
and
Ghana,
Ghana
that's gonna
is
be a
at
good one.
4, right? That's at 4?
4, yep.
Yeah, that's the one I'm
Panama and Croatia, and then Colombia and Congo. Again,
yeah.
3 games of, like, mostly black
Yeah,
players,
just a bunch
and
of
then,
black people.
tomorrow it gets crazy. Tomorrow is the beginning of the final game of the group stages.
Okay.
So, in the group stages, everybody plays 3 games. The 3rd game for everybody starts tomorrow. So far, there's only been 1 game at a time playing. Tomorrow, there's 2 games playing in each time block.
Who's playing tomorrow?
Tomorrow, so
They better not do anything weird.
um, yeah, tomorrow at 3 o'clock tomorrow, it's Bosnia and Qatar and Switzerland and Canada. And that's all 4 teams in their group playing at the same time
Mhm.
so that, because ultimately these last games is going to decide who's at the top of the table, who's second, and who goes on to the next round.
Yeah.
So they want them playing at the same time. So like one team doesn't know it. Oh,
Doesn't
they're
know.
going tomorrow.
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah,
So,
they don't calculate the points on their
right,
own. I love
exactly.
that.
So,
Yeah, I'm probably gonna
so
watch the Canada game. I don't care about the other 2.
between Wednesday to Saturday are going to be like all the games that decide who's going to be on the next round. So it's going to be some good
Yeah,
ones,
this
really
is a
good ones.
really good. I'm sitting here screaming. First of all, I'm whenever somebody scores on the 2 teams, I can't decide who has the most black people. But except for yesterday, I love Holland, so it was like anybody can win this game, even though
Yeah,
I really want
Holland
Senegal.
is a beast to
Holland is so
watch.
Mbappe's crazy. He's Mbappe's like the France team is great to watch. Um that's the thing. Like I said it yesterday. Like, yes, greatest of all time, fantastic player, world breaker. He's just not fun for me to watch all the time.
Yeah,
Messi, he's
yeah,
just not fun for me. Argentina's not fun for me. I enjoy watching the other teams more, the ones that are having fun and look like they really want it, but they want it in a way that is uh like like youth soccer. Like
yeah,
the kids
yeah.
wanna win, like in that same sort of
Hmm.
like, we're happy to be here type of thing.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
excited for it. Who do you think is gonna take it all?
I need to see this last round. Right now, I think the most complete team I've seen play thus far is France.
Mhm. I
Like
mean, they
complete team.
yeah.
And England. England did really well in the second half of their first game. I think tomorrow. Wait, is
Today, they played
tomorrow?
today.
Today. Is this their
Yeah.
second game? This is just their second game.
This is just their second game? Oh,
No,
no,
it's not.
I haven't everyone's played 3 games,
No,
right?
everyone's played 2, but I feel like there's
Oh,
some
this is the 3rd
teams.
game. This is the week, that's the 3rd game.
The third games, I think, start tomorrow. Yeah, the third games start tomorrow. So this is England's second game today. And then their third game is probably on Friday,
Mhm.
Friday or Saturday. Yeah,
Quick
their third game
question.
is on Saturday against Panama. Yeah.
When did we start saying Turkey instead of turkey?
It's,
When did that happen? When did that
it's
occur?
so
'Cause
many
I
team names. I have no idea. I have no idea. Turkey ain't also Bosnia. Bosnia has like it's like Bosnia dash
is it Bosnia
Uzbekistan. Like that's one.
Herzegovina, something like that? Isn't it
Yeah,
the
what the fuck
same?
is that? When
It's
did when
always been
who's
that.
her?
It's always been Bosnia Herz hold on, I'm about to sound like I don't
Since
really
when? I've never heard of that
Oh,
in my life.
forever.
What?
Forever.
Bosnia? Yeah,
Yeah,
Herzegovina.
Bosnia Herzegovina. Govina. Yeah, it's always been that. I've always known that. It's Turkey that's new to
I
me.
I missed that one. Um, Czechia
Turkey.
is another one.
Chechnya?
Czechia.
That used to be Russia.
No, is it? Or did it used to be Czechoslovakia? See? I don't.
That whole Eastern Bloc,
Everything changed
it's
over
been
there. I don't
fucking
know nothing
it's been
over
40 years since it's changed, and I'm still like, what is this?
there. Legit, yeah.
Like we're
Czechoslovakia, Czechia, and then there was another one. Ivory Coast. I don't know
Cote
the.
d'Ivoire, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know that one. I'll just say I like
just Ivory
Cote
Coast. And like
d'Ivoire.
even when you said Cabo Verde, I was like, Cape Verde.
Actually, I have a Cape Verdean friend who'd be like, "It's not Cape Verde, it's Cabo Verde."
Okay.
or it's not. You don't pronounce the e. It's
Oh, we were
Verde.
both wrong.
Yeah, Cabo
Chechnya
Verde.
is Portuguese. I mean, not Portuguese. Polish, right?
What? No, Chechnya. I don't know where it is.
It's Prague. Prague,
Czechoslovakia.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Right. My bad. My bad. My
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, yeah. But I know like the name switched like literally like 30 years ago. But I don't know what comprises of like what
Yeah, just
countries split up, like
all
what did
that
they become?
Croatia. Uh, yeah, the whole Eastern Bloc
Oh, and then
got chopped
even
up.
Iran. Iran is like Iran.
Iran.
It's like Iran.
Oh, oh.
I
I've
was
not
like,
seen
who's that?
Yeah,
Why
I
is it
just
two? I don't know.
this is
That's
some
funny.
dumb American shit. Like just name yourself what your name is. Turkey. What are
Oh
you talking
man.
about?
Turkey, right?
Oh, you know what? There's a callback. You're gonna see Jill Scott today.
Yes.
So
Yes.
our Cry About It playlist, Jill Scott, Slowly Surely is also on my Cry About It playlist.
Slowly, surely,
Don't sing
I'll
it.
walk away. Oh, that's my joy. I do like that. You
Love
know
that
what
song.
song makes me from Jill Scott that makes me cry is that song she wrote about America. I think it's called My Petition. Have you ever heard that?
I don't think so.
Oh, you
I
gotta
don't
go
think so.
after the show. My
Petition.
Petition, where she's like, it sounds like a normal love song, like a normal Jill Scott song, but she's talking about black people's relationship with the United
Oh,
States.
I have heard this. It's on the same album that Slowly Surely is on, isn't it?
Is it?
Oh,
Oh,
yes, I have heard this. Yeah. Yeah.
can't wait.
It's I miss music, first of all, but like the way that R&B used to exist. Like I just between people always talk about like the yearning and the love part. I definitely miss that. But it also had like different kind of substance where back in like the early 2000s, 90s, R&B was doing the hip hop thing, which is like the allegories and like it sounds like a love song, but underneath it is all these layers. Like I miss listening to music like that.
Yeah. Yeah, for
I
sure.
miss it.
For sure. For
Wait,
sure.
so you said your France is who you think is gonna take it all?
Oh,
Well, no. Okay,
um,
this is a different question. Who do you think is gonna take it all is different from who do you want to take it all?
I I said this before, and I want to stick with it. I picked three countries from different continents. I picked the US
Mm.
from North America. I picked Brazil, even though after watching them play, I don't, they don't seem that strong to me, but I'm going to stick there. And then for Europe, I went with England.
Mm,
I went with England because I liked the black players on their team are my favorite players.
yeah.
Saka and what's your boy's name? Jude
Jude
Bellingham, and
Bellingham. Yeah. Yeah.
they got some players over there, Robbie, all that stuff. But
Yeah.
those are my big. And then from Asia, Japan looks good. South Korea looks good too.
Not me forgetting that those countries play soccer too. I forgot all about. I
Somehow
was,
the
I was like
Japan
Japan.
has a black goalie.
Of course they do. Of course, like
A black goalie. I was like, oh, and he looks Japanese. Like he looks black and Japanese. Like
Japanese.
which
Yeah, of
is
course they do.
oh,
There's Africans over there
right.
creating
I think
Blasians.
another military. I think it was a military hookup there with their parents. But who do you
I
think? Who do you got?
love. I don't. I just everybody black. Um,
Mhm.
I really don't. I have no. I want an African team, but I know they're not gonna. It's just not statistically possible. So the closest
Mhm.
Africans are France,
France.
America, USA. And I really, really, really love Holland. I love
Yeah.
him so much. I love Yamin. So, Spain and Norway, I want in there too. I just like
Yeah.
individual players more so than like whole teams, but whole teams, I
Mhm.
think France has got it.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
think
honestly,
France.
the way
They look too
that
thorough.
some of these individual players, again, Messi, arguably greatest of all time, but I just love the way the other superstars are playing with their teams.
Yeah.
I just love that. Yeah, I'm be happy with anybody but Morocco.
Anybody but Morocco. And people are also saying anybody but South Africa too.
Oh,
Because
I
I didn't
forgot Bafana
know.
Bafana.
Yeah, there was something going on in South Africa prior to the World Cup that I didn't realize was happening. So
Oh,
everybody there was like a trend on Twitter. There were like people that were from South Africa. They were like, I'm not rooting for South Africa because
yeah.
of what they were doing with other African countries, which I didn't even know was existing like right now. That was happening like right now.
That doesn't surprise me. I'm gonna
Yeah.
look it up because I didn't know what was going on. I saw this,
Yeah, it's something about they were asking. I don't know the full story, but someone hit me on it. They're like, anybody with South Africa? And I was like, what does South Africa do? Other than the obvious. But
rather than
it
everything.
was something, it was like a reflection of what they've had a history of doing, asking or demanding Black Africans from other countries to leave South Africa or something.
South Africa is heavy on the xenophobia,
Yeah, but it
unless
was
you're
something
white.
that happened like a couple weeks before the World
Yeah,
Cup
yeah, yeah,
started. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
They do
Unless you're
the
white, exactly.
did you hear, I mean, this woman who was half South African, half Nigerian, but was born and raised in South Africa. Um, I think she either won or got her crown taken away from, like, Miss South America. I mean, Miss South Africa, and then she went on
Mhm.
to America, I mean, sorry, to Nigeria, because Nigeria will take anybody, but, like, the xenophobia is crazy to the point that she's
Mm,
half Nigerian, born and raised in South Africa, but they don't consider her a South African, so they didn't
wow,
want her representing them in Miss Universe. But, yeah,
they got
South
that
Africa's
pure
notoriously,
colonialism.
listen, you can't be in apartheid for 100 years and not walk away with a little bias on you.
Right,
So,
right.
shout out to
Did
South
we
Africa.
talk on?
Johannesburg is my favorite African country, so don't take that.
Did you read Trevor Noah's book? We talk about that.
Oh, I love Swift. Yeah, it's such a good
Did
book.
you read his book? Oh,
Yeah,
such a
yeah.
good. I didn't know any of that shit about
It
Trevor
was the
Noah.
first book that I read that I simultaneously read and then also listened to an audiobook. 'Cause
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but that's such a great book. Such a great book. Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, we're gonna close out today. Keep on watching that World Cup. Go team,
Go
whoever
Black
your team
people.
is. Go
Woo!
black, go black folks. And keep finding the truth in the chaos, the clarity in the culture, and the joy in the journey. And we will holler at you next week.
Bye. Shout out to you, Tunde and Charlene. Appreciate you for sure.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank y'all.